This MFF is really good news for the enlargement. Dear journalists, representatives of the media, it shows, namely clearly, that it is a clear political and geostrategical priority for the European Union. Accession talks with Montenegro, Albania, Moldova and Ukraine have never progressed faster, and many of our candidate countries have the ambition to conclude negotiations in the coming years. They are our most reliable partners, and we are supporting them as much as we can. And the new MFF is reflecting this reality. How? I would like to mention 3 points. First, it includes a very significant increase in funding to match the increased speed of candidate countries. In the present MFF, we had still have 31 billion for candidate countries and Eastern neighbourhood. This MFF proposal, the new one, includes 42.6 billion. This is an increase of 37%. Every budget is our policy priorities cast in numbers, and with a bigger budget, we can further step up the pace of reforms and investments, bringing countries closer to EU membership. Second, we have a dedicated 100 billion allocation to support Ukraine's reforms, its reconstruction, modernization, and its path into the EU. This money will help provide Ukraine with financial stability after 2028. Whoever thought European support would weaken over time was wrong. Time is really not on Russia's side. Crucially, funding for Ukraine is kept separate and over and above MFF ceiling. This ensures that the Union can meet Ukraine's exceptional needs without compromising other priorities of the external action. And third, all of this funding for the candidate countries is based on two principles which we are already following now. The first one is merit-based, the second one is conditionality, meaning that the countries are only getting the money if they fulfill certain criteria, mostly engraved in the reform agendas. As I said, some candidates are working towards concluding negotiations during the next MFF or even earlier, and the Commission will work tirelessly to help them achieve this. Once they do, the next step will be negotiate accession treaties that define elements such as the phasing in of structural and agricultural funds, as well as each country's contribution to the EU budget. At that stage, we will need to make sure to provide adequate financing to the new member states. All in all, this MFF proposal is a strong basis to deliver on enlargement. It is also an opening tool, books of global Europe to candidate countries, not only technical assistance, but also support for reforms and investments backed by resources. And it will help us, I'm sure, take the next step towards the final, as I love to say, that enlargement is not just making the EU bigger in the number of square kilometers and in the number of people, but enlargement for me is much more. It is about the unification of Europe. So by stepping up support to all those who are putting in the hard work to meet membership conditions, we are on the way to unify our Europe.